Alright, you guys, I pretty much do not have very many stories to tell for life stories because I do have a few really good ones, but I'm not sure if I should tell them or not because they have some pretty mature themes in them, so I don't think I should say them until I'm like a little bit older. I got like a couple more I could tell, but just saying like this isn't gonna be like I don't want to say like I'm ending life stories because it's still gonna be a series, but like, you know, I'm just saying. And but yeah, so guys, today's story is gonna be about a time when like some random kid just came out of nowhere and just pushed me. So this happened when I was in grade 6. I was around, like, no, I was 11. Yeah, I was 11. I was in grade 6. I was 11 years old. And then it's like I was hanging out with my friends near like this big ass tree because my middle school has like a really big tree near the back of it. And like I was hanging out with some of my friends there, and we were making like a huge leaf pile. Like we were just making like a huge leaf pile because there were so many leaves that had like that had fallen off the tree. We were like building a huge leaf pile, and people were like throwing leaves at other people, and like basically, like, I was, like, throwing leaves at some random people, like, since I was in grade 6, I was, like, throwing some at some grade 7s, and then they started, like, shoving leaves down my shirt, and I was a little pissed off, and, like, I threw leaves at this one grade 7, and then he didn't do anything, and then what happened was, okay, so I'm just sitting there with my friends, minding my own business, and we're still making the leaf pile, and then, like, you know, just screwing around. And I'm just like standing there talking to them, and then I feel like a really big push, like a really big force that just put me face down, and I'm like, and I was just like, ow, because that like hurt, and I was like, now a lot of you are gonna think, oh wow, dude, you're such a wimp, but I was like crying. But guys, I was 11, so yeah, like, I was crying like a lot because I was like, why the hell did somebody do this to me? What did I ever do to them? And I was like crying and crying, and my friends are like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, not really. And I'm like crying. I almost couldn't breathe because I was crying so much. And then the grade 7s that were throwing leaves at me, I turned to them, and I was like, and I thought it was like this red-haired kid because I thought he would have been the one doing it. And he's like, and I was like, it was you that did it. And he's like, dude, it wasn't him. And I'm like, yeah, it was. And then I was like, really, and I told the duty what happened, and then like because I didn't know who had pushed me, and so yeah, like and then like the duty calls me over, and she has the kid there that pushed me. He was a grade above me, and then she's like, he has something he wants to say to you, and he's like, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't think you were gonna cry. I didn't mean to like hurt you that bad or anything. And then the duty said to me, he said that he's really sorry and that he didn't mean to make you cry, and that he felt really bad after he saw you cry. And then I was like, it's okay. That was what I said on the outside. And the inside, I wanted to punch this kid in the face. Because I was really angry, and so then like I was so upset about it that I like. Okay, now the thing is, like, I had just stopped crying, and, like, the bell rang to go back inside, because it was at, like, lunch. And then I go back inside, and then, like, into my class, and these two girls in my class are just like, brah, like, just, like, to scare me. And I was like, and that just, like, made me, like, really pissed off, and I'm like, well, thanks, you just made my day worse, because I don't, like, sometimes, like, when I'm in, like, a bad mood, or I'm hurt, or I'm, like, sad, even if someone just says something like, hey, man, what's up? Then I'll just like start bawling, and that was one of those moments I was like, what the, I was like, well, thanks, you just made my day worse. I started crying again, and they're like, what happened? And then like one of them said, what happened to Liam? And somebody was like, oh, hold on, let me come up with a name for this guy. Okay, we're gonna call him... Okay, let me think of a name for him.
The bomb has been planted.
Okay, sorry guys, I can't really think of a name right now. Okay, well, okay, let's just call him Anonymous. Like, let's just call him that, because I can't think of a name. So yeah, they're like, oh, Anonymous pushed him out. Okay, okay, no, that's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. Okay, we'll just call him Grant. Okay, we'll call him Grant. So, Grant, they're like, oh, Grant pushed him at lunch, and I'm like, and I'm just like, and everybody was asking me, like, they weren't, like, saying, oh, dude, you're such a wimp, why are you crying over that? But, like, they were understandable, like, they were understanding, they were like, dude, we're sorry that this happened, you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. And so then, like, you know, I started getting, like, you know, I was, like, still really, like, mad about this, so, I just did not want to go to school, and it was seriously the last block of the day. I told my substitute teacher what was going on, and he said, well, okay, I'll see you later. And then I was like, yeah, I'll see you later. I called my mom, I tell her what happened, and, like, I was, like, crying on the phone, and my mom's like, what happened? And I'm like, just come here, I'll tell you. I told my mom the story, and then I told the secretary what happened, and she said, okay, we're gonna give you this yearbook point, to which, also, like, when I went into the office, the lady said, the lady had said, she said, okay, well, what do you know what his name was, at least? And I said, yeah, I know his first name, and I just said Grant. Well, I didn't actually say Grant, but since that's what I'm calling him, I was like, yeah, his name's Grant, you know, just as an example. And then I'm like, and then she's like, okay, and then apparently there's only 3 people with that name. And so then I was like, okay, it's not him. It's definitely not him, because, like, I was like, because this guy looked way different than the first 2. And then she's like, okay, then that leaves, I was like, I think it's that guy. And so then I was like, yeah. So then she's like, can you point him out? I'm like, yeah, that's him. And, so yeah, I ended up going home, and my mom was like, well, are you okay? Are you gonna be alright? Are you gonna go back to school tomorrow? I was like, yes, I'm fine now. I just didn't want to go. I was like, I just didn't want to stay at school. And she's like, well, I'm glad you're feeling better. So then I was like, you know, like, yeah, I was like, yeah, like, I felt, like, really, like, you know, I felt really bad because, you know, I got pushed, and then, like, because, guys, like, this wasn't just, like, a normal, like, playful shove and you just fall. Like, this, like, hurt, kind of. So then, like, I hear them say Grant's name on, like when I was at, like, it was at, like, recess or lunch the next day. I heard them say Grant's name and say, Grant so-and-so, can you come to the office, please? And then I was just, like, standing there talking to my friend, and I saw him come out of the school with his backpack, so my guess is he ended up getting suspended. I don't know for how long. I'm guessing just for, like, a day or 2 or something like that. But, yeah, so, long story short, I ended up getting the kid suspended from school for at least a day. And so, yeah, like, I just thought that I was like, guys, the moral of this story is karma is a real bitch. So don't screw with her, because it will stab you right in the ass. But anyway, guys, that's all for this story. Subscribe for more content, and remember, you guys, whenever getting kids suspended from school, say no to drugs.